What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the SPY, the Nasdaq, the QQQs, and the futures, break down what the charts are telling us and what you should be watching for, and also why the market is continuing to pump the way it is and why we bounced at a very important level. Now, before I break anything down, before I talk about what Jerome Powell said today and how this is actually causing the market to pump even more, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,000, and you'll also have some free level 2 data. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just a week, so make sure you check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So anyways, the market is in a very, very interesting place right now. It went absolutely crazy. It went bonkers today when Jerome Powell was speaking. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Look at the last couple of hours on the market. We had this crazy pop when Jerome Powell was speaking right before he was about to start talking. Then and before we popped, we actually saw the market trading sideways for quite a while. So the market was just, completely sideways, not doing much. And all of a sudden, this giant pop when he ended up speaking. We saw Tesla pop, the whole market popped. Then we had this big drop near the time he finished speaking. Then we had a big bounce, and the market continued to keep going. So we had a crazy, crazy amount of traps. This was like a trap because of the big drop. The big drop ended up being a trap within a trap, leading to a big rally, and it looks like we're going to see a continuation. So I'm going to break down what actually happened. Powell actually just said a couple of things. He basically kept the same dovish sentiment, not necessarily dovish. I would say it was more like he wasn't super hawkish. I think that's a much better way of saying it. He wasn't super hawkish. He kept the same tonality as during the last meeting, and he ended up pumping the markets. He ended up saying that we're likely seeing more disinflation. We're likely going to see it continue. There's lots of progress, but the Fed can only say so many things with certainty. There's still lots of uncertainty out there. He also mentioned the fact that the Fed cannot make any promises, but there's the progress that's being made may lead to disinflation in the housing sector a lot later, maybe not immediately. And he mentioned that there are going to be more rate hikes coming, but the progress being made is prioritizing getting inflation to 2%. He was also asked about the targets. Why not 3%? Why not something different? And he didn't really comment too much on it. He just mentioned that they're doing what has to be done. So basically, the market, it was going crazy in the beginning, very indecisive in the very beginning, for the last couple of hours, and now it's starting to pump, and it looks like we're going to see a continuation of the pump. And I'm going to talk about why I think it's going to likely continue a little bit more, because when you look at the overall setup, it's been on this channel, respecting a very pretty looking uptrend. And I do believe we're getting close to this midline area. So this is going to be another important level of resistance. So it's right about, hold on, right about here. I know I'm not going to draw this perfectly. I do apologize. I'm actually doing this live. But anyways, it's kind of like about here. This is where we have another level of resistance. I might be able to adjust this a little higher. It seems like it's a little different, but it doesn't matter too much. Very, very close to around this area. So I do think we're coming very close to another major level of resistance. And if we break this thing could just keep going. And I think we're going to likely see it continuing to test and keep it pushing up. Now, I also want to note a couple of things, though, and that's the fact that we have more Fed speakers coming from today to Friday. We'll have jobless claims coming out on Thursday. And then for next Tuesday, we have CPI coming out. So many big things are coming out. For earnings, we have Walt Disney on Wednesday. Thursday has PayPal. And we have a couple of them like Hertz, Royal Caribbean that actually came out today. And then we have Chipotle coming out very soon. So pretty cool to see. But most of them are not that massive compared to last week's. But PayPal and Disney are two of the big ones for Wednesday and Thursday. And finally, as you guys know, I think the big thing the market's really waiting for is CPI. There's not really much else coming out that's that massive until CPI comes out. And the only thing that's really big for economic data would be some data involving like housing and jobless claims, which I think is like somewhat significant, but Besides that, it's just Fed speakers every single day. So I do think they might try to slow down the rally a bit, but I don't think it's going to be that horrible. And I'm basically anticipating that SPY has more room to keep going. It's going to keep trying to fight. I don't think it's going to become as choppy. We might try to continue going. Now, the real question is, are we in a topping process? I still stand by that. Yes, I really believe we are in this topping process. I think we're respecting a nice uptrend. And I do believe that we're going to be establishing a high maybe this week. It might happen this week. I think we might be able to retest 418. 418 to 420 is a huge level, but I want to note that if we get to 422, we will be filling one of our major gaps. I think we could get it if we break 418. So watch this 418 zone. If you break this on SPY, this thing is going to hit 422. Break that, then 428 is still possible. It is possible to fill the second gap up there on the hourly. It still is possible. So I don't know which one it's going to be, where the exact peak is going to be, but excuse me, sorry. But if I could guess, I would guess somewhere. I mean, it depends on if we break 418. If we break it, then we're most likely going to see our top around here if 418 could break. But if 418 fails, then that could be the top. That's basically what I'm essentially seeing right here. Now, I also want to break down the VIX. The reason why I think the market's going to continue to rally, at least just for a little bit of time before CPI comes out, is because the VIX ended up trying to break out. It really wanted to. It's been respecting a falling wedge, but it got rejected, a huge rejection of this resistance. So it failed to get the breakout. It did come down like I thought it would. It's either going to continue to stay here. It could actually come down even lower. I just don't know for sure. But I do think the market has some nice momentum and might continue to try. For Google, I mentioned to you guys that we could try to get this gap fill or even get a fake almost gap fill, and we ended up bouncing even higher than I expected, even on Google. So, and that's also because of the news that came out. But the bottom line is, if this thing gets a break, 410 is not out of the question. Amazon went exactly or almost exactly where I predicted it would go. I told you guys sorry, not four, 100 flat is an important zone. If you break below that, I'd be watching this area between the daily 50 EMA and then the 100. So my target was around this 98 level, right around here. I told you guys I think Amazon could bounce right there. That's what ended up happening. And then if we do get the bounce, I'm going to be watching this area right here. There's this 110 zone. I don't know for sure if we're going to get there, but I'm going to first watch 104. If we break 104, 110 becomes more possible. But let's just see how it performs in this channel. Aapl, man, Aapl was looking pretty nice today. Uh, Very strong looking daily candle. If it keeps going, I'm going to be watching 157. Break that. 160 is on the table. Break below where we currently are, then we have to watch 152, then 150. But like I said before, we're more likely to try to get a retest of 157, maybe even breaking it. QQQ, the triple Q, once again, got a nice. It did something very interesting. It almost went for this gap fill down here, and then bounced, and then went for the one that formed earlier today. So it very interesting stuff. I think we should try to see 313 very soon, and if we break that, we could form a new high on the triple Q. Very possible, very likely, in my opinion. Uh, I'm going to be watching. Let me just see which level it is. I actually did not even mark the level yet, but one of the levels to watch for is going to be right here. Right, we have this 319. That's going to be a lot higher, and then in between, I'm watching this zone right here, this previous area around this 314. That's also going to be very important. That's where the previous gap was, that 314 level. And then for the 200 EMA, which we actually managed to break, very cool. The fact that we broke that, that's telling me that we're going to likely see heavy resistance right here. Then 319 is also in the realm of possibility if we get a clean break above 314. But we have to first break that first before getting there. So I'm going to be watching that for tomorrow. And for a retracement, if this thing does end up coming down, you have to watch 300. And then there's also the 200 EMA on the daily. Neo has a really nice looking setup, in my opinion, on the 1 hour time frame. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but check this out, guys. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We have a very clean looking head and shoulders forming. We have the left shoulder, we have our head, Now a right shoulder should be forming just like this one before it continues down. And this is aligning very well with the CPI report. That could be the thing that triggers it to come down. But it looks very clean in my opinion. Very, very clean. All right. Finally, Microsoft. Microsoft has a nice uptrend. Once again, looks very, very strong. 270 is on the table. I want to just talk about Tesla before I say anything else. Tesla, last minutes of the day, the market's about to close. We're going for 198 to 200. We have a bullish triangle developing. I think we're going to break it. We're going to see 200 plus very soon, in my opinion, for Tesla. Last but not least, the notorious AMC, not doing too well right now. I did mention that during a lot of these trends, AMC gets a big break to the upside, and then she finds her top, and then she ends up underperforming the market. That's what happened in March, and also happened in August. There is a possible head and shoulders maybe developing. Maybe AMC gets one more pop up here with the market, going back to like 6.7, 6.78. But then this is like a left shoulder. This is the head. The right shoulder could form before we do see AMC reverse. So I just wanted to note that we might slowly pick up our way all the way back up here before AMC continues to come down. But I don't expect it to be way too strong. I also think that we have a lot of gaps. 5.7s. There's also a huge one taking us down to 4. These gaps will get filled, in my opinion, over the next couple of weeks. I think AMC could push up with the market a little more, but the market is still in a topping process. And I think that once the market finds its top, AMC is also going to find its top in this temporary rally before AMC comes tumbling down with the market. I know it's unfortunate. I know you don't want to hear that, but it is what it is. That's what the charts are telling me. Could AMC squeeze? Yes. I do believe it will squeeze in the future to crazy high numbers. Like breaking all-time highs, it is possible. But I just want to note that we're not really there yet, in my opinion, and we just have to be patient. So, anyways, sorry. I want to thank you all for listening. Please have a great rest of the day. Have a great, great time trading tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting. And I'll see you guys in the next one. The market to the moon, because the long-term future is still very bright. And peace out.